Bonzi Buddy. In the early 2000s, a small cartoon monkey appeared on millions of screens. It smiled, it waved, it offered to help. This was Bonzi Buddy, a friendly voice, jokes, tips, and songs. It greeted you when you turned on your computer, like it belonged there. And for a while, people believed it did. But behind the animations, something else was running. It watched, it collected. It tracked every site you visited, every click you made. Personal data, browsing habits, behavioral patterns, all quietly gathered and sent away. It installed programs without asking. It flooded screens with ads that wouldn't stop. And when users finally tried to remove it, it didn't leave cleanly. Files remained. Settings stayed changed. The system still felt its presence, long after it was gone. Eventually, antivirus programs caught on. Bonzi Buddy was flagged, removed, forgotten. But it proved something important. The most dangerous threats don't always look dangerous. Sometimes they wave hello. I love you. In May 2000, a simple email reached a user. The subject line read, I love you. Inside it was an attachment called loveletterforyou.txt, a visual basic script carefully disguised as something harmless. The moment it was opened, everything changed. The script executed instantly, copying itself across the entire system without hesitation. Files began to disappear. Images, documents, personal data, all overwritten, replaced with the virus itself. At the same time, it silently accessed the user's address book and sent itself to every single contact. No warning, no confirmation, just spread. It didn't break systems with complex exploits. It used something far simpler: trust. Because the message felt personal, familiar, people opened it. And within days, millions of computers were infected. Entire organizations were forced to shut down email systems, just to stop the damage from spreading further. MyDoom. In early 2004, a file arrived quietly on a computer somewhere in the world. It looked like a normal email attachment. It wasn't. This was MyDoom. And it didn't wait for permission. It spread automatically, using email and network connections, jumping from one system to another at a speed never seen before. Once inside, it scanned everything: files, cache, address books, searching for email addresses. Then it sent itself out again, disguised as normal messages. And because those emails looked real and the people trusted them, that was enough. Systems slowed down, machines became unstable, computers froze, networks flooded with traffic. But MyDoom didn't stop it spreading. It turned infected machines into weapons, launching massive DDoS attacks that overwhelmed major websites and took them offline. At its peak, the damage reached nearly $38 billion. And quietly, then in the background, it opened a back door, giving remote access to infected systems and without the user ever knowing. WannaCry. In May 2017, a hospital in England lost access to its systems. Then another, then a school, then a government office. This was WannaCry. It didn't spread slowly. It moved like a chain reaction, exploiting a weakness in Windows systems and jumping across entire networks. Hospitals, schools, businesses, governments, all hit within hours. Critical systems shut down. Operations stopped. Inside each infected machine, files were encrypted instantly. A countdown timer appeared, ticking down. Pay in Bitcoin or lose everything. A threat, a deadline, no guarantees. Even those who paid us often got nothing back. The attack only slowed when a hidden kill switch was discovered. But by then, over 150 countries had already been affected. Petya Ransomware. In 2017, an employee opened what looked like a job application. The attached file seemed normal. One click, and everything stopped. This was Petya. Petya didn't target files. It targeted the system itself. Instead of encrypting documents, it took control of the master boot record, the core of the machine. Once infected, the computer restarted. A fake disk check appeared, something that looked normal. Then suddenly, a flashing skull, a message, a command: press any key, and only then, the truth appeared. Everything was locked. Petya spread through email attachments, infected documents, and network vulnerabilities, moving quickly across connected systems. Entire networks were frozen, no access, no recovery, unless backups existed. For many organizations, systems stayed down for days. MEMZ. In 2016, a programmer built something unusual. Not to steal, not to spy, just to see how far chaos could go. This was MEMZ. It didn't pretend to be safe. It warned users before running, clearly stating that serious damage would occur. But curiosity won. And once it started, it didn't stop. Pop-ups appeared out of nowhere. Windows moved on their own, colors inverted, sounds played randomly. The system began to lose control. Slowly at first, then all at once. Keyboard input failed. Commands stopped working. Everything became unpredictable. And at the end, MEMZ overwrote the master boot record, turning the system into something that could no longer even start. You are an idiot. In the early 2000s, a user visited a website. Seconds later, their screen was gone. This was You Are an Idiot. Once triggered, it flooded the screen with endless pop-up windows, each one repeating the same message again and again. Closing one window only created more. 6, 10, dozens. Within seconds, the desktop was completely taken over. System resources collapsed under the pressure. Computers slowed down, froze, or crashed entirely. Restarting didn't always help. Some versions came back immediately, trapping users in an endless loop. It didn't steal data, it didn't encrypt files, but it made one thing clear. Sometimes losing control is worse than losing data.